In this English class, we are going to do something different. Different in the sense that it is going to be a revision class. We are going to revise basically 2 chapters, and at first we are going to do the Beauty and the Beast. Now this chapter you have already studied before, and now we are going to revise the chapter. At first I am going to give a little summary of the lesson that you have already studied. This lesson, The Beauty and the Beast, as you remember, it is a French fairy tale where a young village girl, Belle, transforms a hideous beast into a young handsome prince only by expressing true love for him. The prince, as you know, was arrogant. He did not show any kind of sympathy for others, and thereby he was cursed by an enchantress who changed him into a beast. And it was said that only on finding real love he would ultimately turn into a human being again. Now what we are going to do is first the long answer type questions. Now I'm going to give you the questions and I'm also going to discuss the answers with you. You can follow me, or you can do the other way. You can write the answers or your own, frame the answers in your own language also, and you can also follow me. The first question is, in what way did the fortune of the merchant and his daughters change? The probable answer to this question would be, the merchant lost all his wealth in a tempest or a storm at sea. So, along with his daughters, he started to live in a farmhouse in a village. And in order to earn their livelihood, they had to work very hard. And some years later, the merchant heard that one of his trading ships had returned to port because it had escaped the violent storm. Now this will be the probable answer for question 1. Next question. Narrate the experience of the merchant while he was returning from the forest. Now the answer for this question would be, while returning, the merchant lost his way in a forest. He was seeking shelter somewhere and he found a dazzling palace in front of him and he entered it. There were tables laden with food and drink, which probably was left by the unseen owner of the palace. Seeing this, the merchant was very happy and he ate to his heart's contentment and spent the night at the palace. Now let's come to question 3. What happened next morning? Second part of the question, what did the beast say to the merchant? The probable answer to this question would be, the next morning when the merchant was about to leave, he suddenly recollected that his youngest daughter Belle wanted a rare rose. He saw the rose and he picked the rose, and he came face to face with a terrible beast. Now the second part of the answer would be, the beast was extremely angry on seeing the merchant picking the flower, and he said that he had given him food and shelter, and in return the merchant was taking the most precious possession that was in his palace. So the merchant would be duly punished for his misconduct. The next question is, what did the beast ask Belle each night? There's a subpart to this question. What was the result of it? Now the probable answer to this question would be, the beast offered Belle lavish food as well as clothing, and he also conversed with her. And each night the beast would ask Belle to marry him, and on every question each night he would be refused by Belle. Now the second part of the answer, what was the result of it? The result of this refusal would be that Belle dreamt of a handsome prince who went on pleading with her to explain to him why she was refusing to marry him. Belle replied that she could not marry the beast because she loved the beast only as a friend. Now let's come to question number 5. How was Belle moved by the show of false love by her sisters? Now the answer of this question would be, the elder sisters of Belle were extremely surprised to find her well fed and grandly dressed. They were jealous of her, and when she came from the castle, and when she was about to return to the castle, the elder sisters had a sinister plan. They asked her, or they requested her, to stay one more night with them so that she would break her promise. They also put onion in their eyes in order to show that they were weeping. Now Belle, as we know, was a very simple girl, and her heart was moved by this false show of love. Now we are going to come to the short answer type questions. The first question here is, why couldn't the merchant buy any gifts for his daughters? Now here the answer would be, the merchant granted the requests of his daughters, and he set off for the city. But when he reached the city, he found that his ship's cargo had been seized in order to pay his debts. Therefore, he was left with no money to buy any gifts for his daughters. Question number 2. What made the merchant upset? Now, the merchant accepted the condition of the beast that his youngest daughter Belle would have to come and stay in the palace, and only then would he be able to go back to his home. This made the merchant extremely upset, but he had no other option left in front of him, and he accepted the condition of the beast. Question 3. How was Belle's life in the beast's palace? The answer for this would be Belle lived a life of luxury in the palace of the beast. There were invisible servants who were waiting for orders. There was an endless supply of food and good clothes to wear. So, her life in the palace of the beast was extremely pleasant. Question 4. In what way did the mirror and the ring help Belle? The beast gifted Belle a mirror and a ring, which were both enchanted. With the help of the mirror, Belle could see what was going on in the castle, and with the help of the ring, she would be able to return to the castle instantly. When she would turn the ring around her finger thrice. Now question 5. How was the beast transformed into a man again? Now the answer for this would be, when Belle returned to the beast's palace, she found the beast almost dead. She wept over him, saying that she loved him very much. And as soon as the tears fell on the beast's body, the beast was transformed once again into a human being. So this was the transformation of the beast. Now these are the objective type questions which you have to solve on your own. I'm just repeating the questions one by one and you just follow. Question 1. Where did the wealthy merchant live? 2. How was Belle different from her sisters? Question 3. What presents did the 3 daughters of the merchant ask him to bring? 4. Why did Belle go to the beast's castle? Question 5. How did the beast welcome Belle? 6. Why did Belle roam about the castle? 7. On what condition did the beast allow Belle to visit her family? 8. What was Belle horrified to discover? Now this was all your revision in literature. You are going to write the answers for the long questions and short questions on your own. Rather, I should say you are going to frame the answers on your own, or you can follow whatever I have said. Now the questions are not very difficult at all. You will find the answers in the text itself. So try to write the answers on your own.
Start.
The previous revision was based on a topic from literature. As you know, it was revised on the lesson from Blossom's book, that is The Beauty and the Beast. Now, the second part of your revision would be a chapter from grammar, which you have already completed before. It is tense. Now, at first, let us recollect what tense means. Tense means time. Verbs change their forms according to the time, continuance, and the extent of completeness of an action. So what is it said? That verbs change their forms according to their time, the continuance of the action, and how long it takes to complete any action. Now, as you know, there are three general divisions of tenses. They are present tense, past tense, and future tense. Now, in order to understand this better, let us go through the examples. Example 1. The beggar sits by the roadside. You can see here sits is underlined, which means it indicates the action that goes on now. So sits indicates the action going on at the present moment. So it is an example for present tense. Example 2. The beggar sat by the roadside. Again you see sat is underlined, indicating the action that took place in the time gone by. That means that is already in the past. So sat indicates gone by, or that is in the past. So this is an example for past tense. Example 3. The beggar will sit by the roadside. You see will sit is underlined, indicating the action that will take place in the time to come. Will take place, that means the future time. The time to come means the future time. So example 1, example of past tense. Example 2, it is example 1, example of for present tense. Example 2, past tense, and example 3 is future tense. Now these three broad divisions are also further divided into 4 subdivisions each. Now let us follow them with the help of examples again. You see example A. The baby cries for milk. You see cries is underlined. I am saying that this is an example for simple present or present indefinite. Now why am I saying this? I am saying this because the action of crying is done in the present time, but the exact time is not definitely known. It is not definitely told to us, but the action is going on in the present time. So it is an example for present indefinite. Sentence B. The baby is crying for milk. You see is crying is underlined. I am saying this is an example for present continuous. Now why am I saying is crying is present continuous? Because the action of crying, it is going on just at this point of time. So the action is carrying on. So this is an example for present continuous. Sentence 3. The baby has cried for milk. Has cried, I am saying present perfect. Now why am I saying has cried is present perfect? because the action of crying was going on for certain time in the past but has been perfected in the present moment. So it is an example for present perfect. Now the last one, the baby has been crying for milk. You see, has been crying has been underlined here. I am saying that this is an example for present perfect continuous. Now what is this? It is an action of crying was going on for some time in the past. It was partially completed, not fully completed, and it is going on in the present time also. So what is it? Partially completed, and it is also being carried on in the present time. So this is an example for present perfect continuous. Now we are coming to the next division, that is past tense. So now let us see the examples one by one. Example A. Someone played on the flute. You see, played is underlined over here. I am saying that played is an example for simple past tense. Now why am I saying this? I am saying this because the action of playing was in the past, but the time of this action of playing was indefinite. Nothing has been told about the continuation. So this is an example for simple past tense. I am coming to sentence B. Someone was playing on the flute. You see, was playing has been underlined. I am saying it's an example for past continuous. Now why is it past continuous? The action of playing was in the past. It continued in the past, and nothing has been said about its completeness. Sentence 3. Someone had played on the flute. Had played, I am saying it's an example for past perfect. Now why is it past perfect? Because the action of playing was not only done in the past, but it was perfected in the past too. So it's an example of past perfect tense. And the last one, someone had been playing on the flute. Had been playing, I am saying past perfect continuous. Now what is this? The action of playing was in the past. It was perfected in the past, but not fully. It was not done fully. It was done only partially. And it continued to be done in the past. Now the third tense, that is, now we are going to come to future tense. See the first example. She will write a novel. I am saying that this is an example of simple future. Now why am I saying this? Because the action of writing is in the future tense, but the time is indefinite. So it is an example of simple future, or we can also say future indefinite. Next, she will be writing a novel. Will be writing future continuous because it will continue in the future and nothing had been said about its completion. So example for future continuous. Next I have, she will have written a novel. This is an example for future perfect. This means that the action of writing a novel is in the future tense and it is going to be perfected in the future itself. So it's an example for future perfect. And the last one, she will have been writing a novel. This is future perfect continuous. Why? Because it shows the action of writing in the future tense and it will be partially complete or perfected but will still continue in the future. Now, you have another important topic in your lesson, that is the negative interrogative and negative interrogative forms of the present and past tenses. Now there are two solved examples over here. You will understand. We have already done this, so it is just a revision again. She sings a sweet song. So the negative sentence would be she does not sing a sweet song. The interrogative sentence would be does she sing a sweet song? And the negative interrogative would be does she not sing a sweet song? Or doesn't she sing a sweet song? Doesn't she, is the contracted form. Second example, the ox drew the cart. Negative, the ox did not draw the cart. Interrogative, did the ox draw the cart? And negative interrogative would be did the ox not draw the cart, or didn't the ox draw the cart? Now here is a solved exercise on tenses, which if you look at it, you will understand very well how the tenses work. The question is, fill in the blanks with the correct tense form of the verbs given within brackets. This dress dash nice. Brackets you have looks nice. Sentence 2. I dash for my entrance exams. Within brackets study. I am studying for my entrance exams. 3. We dash the station when the train dash. You have two verbs over here, reach, arrive. In the first blank, we had reached the station when the train arrived. 4. My mother dash fond of animals. You have the be verb over here, so you can write either is or was. Both are correct. 5. He dash that they dash all their money in the bank. There are two verbs here, know and keep. The first, you can either write knows or knew, and in the second blank you can either write have kept or had kept. Number 6. I dash my assignment while my sister dash to music. Again there are two verbs, complete and listen. I was completing my assignment while my sister listened or was listening to music. So both are correct over here. Sentence 7. They dash for Pune tomorrow. Within brackets you have leave. They will leave for Pune tomorrow. 8. She dash for us. Wait. She will be waiting for us. Number 9. The labor dash for 5 hours. Brackets work. The labor had been working for 5 hours. Number 10. We dash dinner. Brackets eat. Have eaten dinner. And number 11. The grass dash wet. Again you have a be verb, is, was. Both are correct. Finally you have a home assignment which you usually do in all the classes. It is do as directed. Sentence 1. The children wrote excellent essays. The instruction is change into present continuous. Sentence 2. The plane dash within brackets land when we dash within brackets reach the airport. The instruction is write the correct tense form. Sentence 3. I was liking the new movie. The instruction is correct the sentence. Sentence 4. I wrote a letter to my sister. The instruction is change into present perfect. Sentence 5. The scientist had been working on this experiment. Change into future continuous. Sentence 6. He thanked me for what I dash within brackets do. Write the correct tense form. 7. They played the drums. The instruction is write down the negative, interrogative and negative interrogative forms. And the last sentence that you have is people dash within brackets come out in large numbers to cast their vote. The instruction is write the correct tense form.